Yes, people, welcome back to Mission Podcast, and it's another edition of Kayfabe Out, everyone's favorite WWE show on YouTube. And we're back with an emergency episode. Something huge went down last night on Friday Night SmackDown. You see Hazard there pointing to the sky. He is over the moon about this, but WWE have finally pulled the trigger. The Viper, he's been asleep for many years now, but he is back. He is awake. And boy, did he beat the crap out of Cody Rhodes last night. I'm here with your regulars, DK, Lenny, and Hazard. And yep, let's get straight into it then, lads. What are your initial thoughts on the heel turn?
Oh man, I'm so gassed. I'm amazingly gassed. I was watching the segment last night, and I was just thinking, yep, this is going to be very old corporate Twitter coded. You know how on Twitter people are like, oh, Randy's gonna sign the contract and be like, you can make out this contract to the three most dangerous letters in the game, RKO. And then Cody's like, well, I'm the American dream, and I'm gonna make sure that I retain the Universal Championship. And then all of a sudden that happened, and I just thought, man, wow, I've been sports entertained. Randy Orton finally listens to the voices in his head, and we're about to get a cracker of a main event. Honestly, I cannot wait.
I mean, listen, for the last year, we've been saying Triple H hasn't really been using Randy Orton to the best of his abilities, right? Like Randy Orton hasn't really got that long left. I'd probably say about another 5, 6 years, and then then he'll probably go part time and do like the WrestleManias and the SummerSlams. Or like right now, he's there basically every week. If Triple H chooses to have him on TV, and we've also wanted the Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton feud for the last 2, 3 years. Few weeks ago, I don't think any of us expected them to actually pull the trigger with this feud, but now they've done it. Again, after that, there were talks. Okay, listen, is this going to be a bit of a build that's going to get rushed? Will they have enough time to actually tell a good story? Is it just going to be like, as I said, them generic babyface promos where they're just glazing each other and not really getting anywhere? But no, on this episode of SmackDown, he turned heel, and the way he turned heel, I thought was fantastic. Like, he couldn't have turned heel on this show in a better manner. So he comes out right, Randy Orton, and if you notice early on in the night, he was wearing a blue T-shirt. I know these things don't really go that often, but he was wearing a blue T-shirt in the backstage segment. Then he comes out in a black T-shirt, right? Obviously, we don't notice that straight away. And then he gets in the ring and they go back and forth for a bit, and then he goes to Randy Orton's about to sign it, and then he goes to Cody Rhodes and he basically says, this was supposed to be easy. Drew was supposed to be out here. He said that. I think Cody cuts him off there. Cody says, I will always love you. And then Randy Orton, he hears them voices in his heads and he just beats the crap out of Cody Rhodes for a good 5 minutes straight. I don't think he hit a single RKO. He just battered him. Low blow. I think he might have given him a punt, not a proper punt, but he just hit him in the head. Then he takes him out, just beats the shit out of him, gets that chair. It was a really good angle and a really effective angle. Someone who knows how to sell these heel turns really well is Cody Rhodes. He loves to blade, he loves to rip that t-shirt off. He does that so much times. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad they turned heel. I know Corpus was the guy who was pushing the Mania narrative. I get that, and yeah, they've only got 4 or 5 weeks till Mania. I didn't want the build to be a generic babyface babyface build. Now you've got Randy Orton as a heel. You haven't really got that long until Mania. I can see this feud going past Mania. I don't think it's going to be a one and done, right? I can see them having at least two. Well, they should at least have 2, 3 matches. It should probably end in a Hell in a Cell match. Him turning heel right now, in my opinion, is for the best. They bought, I think 5 weeks, and it's not like any of them are part time. They're both going to be there every week, so we've got a lot to look forward to. Finally, we've got the proper babyface and proper heel dynamic between them both. And maybe if they'd waited until Mania and done that, we could have had that Randy Orton heel turn at WrestleMania. But I think, I mean, I really hope the company are prioritizing the build between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton as a babyface v heel. Like the other main event, CM Punk for Roman Reigns. You can't say that's a babyface to babyface promo battle and a dynamic. I don't really agree. I think both of them just hate each other, so the babyface really just goes out the window, right? It's just two guys as they are basically tweeners who, I mean, to the crowd, they're both babyfaces, right? But the way they treat each other, I think they're both definitely babyfaces. So, yeah, I couldn't have asked them to do a better segment for him to turn heel, so it was perfect in my opinion.
Just looking at the live chat, I don't know how to pull up the comments, but Matthew Bell says Orton Rose is going to cook, and he hopes that it is Hell in a Cell. I still think it's a bit early for that because it's just the start of the feud. I'm hoping this is going to be long term. I think Hell in a Cell is something that could be the final match between them. But I see what you're thinking, Matthew. And Isaac says this: it absolutely should have been Cody going heel. Randy is going to be cheered regardless. Clearly, people are slowly starting to turn on Cody, so why not get ahead of it now and avoid another Cena Roman? You know what, Isaac? I completely see your point, and I'm a bit torn on this whole thing, right? I've been crying out for Randy Orton to turn heel, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm gassed. I'm over the moon. I thought the segment was amazing. Randy Orton is one of the greatest of all time for a reason. His facial expressions are the best I've ever seen of any wrestler. Like, the way he sells things is just so good. But I have alarm bells ringing because I don't want to get too excited, because I remember what happened last year. John Cena, one of the greatest heel turns of all time. We got the big bang moment, and then what did we get afterwards? Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to reserve myself. I'm not going to get too carried away. I want to wait and see what WWE are going to do, because I have danger signs in it. Like, I'm not going to get too excited because I need to learn from what they done last year as well. But
It's like you're
yeah,
recovering from a toxic relationship. Like you can't,
yeah, exactly.
you're in your healing era, Carpe.
I feel like, just to reiterate Isaac's point, right? Cody going heel. I feel like it makes more sense Cody goes heel after this feud, because I think Randy turning on him, his mentor, his master, it's the final nail in the coffin for him to go, you know what? F this, everyone turns on me. I wanna, I'm gonna turn heel. I think maybe we will get Cody going heel, but not for this feud. And WWE 2K Gamer, he says, if Orton loses, this is a waste. 100%. We are all in agreement. Randy has to win at Mania. If Randy loses, it is an absolute travesty. It will be horrible.
Disgrace.
Yeah. I mean,
There's nothing that WWE can do to make Randy look good if he loses, or further the feud on. There's nothing that could actually be of influence towards this. So Orton losing is definitely a waste. I do agree. But I suppose with the whole, like, if Cody turns heel, we've already had our big bang moment, as Carpe said, from last year. So we kind of need something to mellow it down, but still hit really nice. I think that Cody heel turn needs to happen probably, maybe a year or so later, when we don't expect it. Like, let's say I don't know, maybe like for all intents and purposes, like a Cody versus Sammy, for example. Like, everyone thinks, oh, everyone's turned heel against Cody, but then all of a sudden Cody turns heel against Sammy, for example. Something silly like that. But I don't think that's going to happen. From a business perspective, I think Cody Rhodes has this. How do I put it? He has this heroism about him. He's the face. He is the face of the business. So there's no point in him kind of turning heel, I suppose, at this moment in time. As much as I hate him.
I think he has to turn heel at a point, right? Like, you can't. He's not someone like Rey Mysterio who can just be babyface his whole career. I think every wrestler at some point in his career, even Cena, we've seen it with Cena for the longest. They have to basically turn heel, and I think he will turn heel. But again, there's a really nice story with Cody Rhodes in tell, right? Let's look at the people who have turned on him. First, you could say Brock Lesnar turned on him when you got that Cody with Brock feud. Then we had The Rock. I want to say The Rock was an official heel turn on Cody. It was just him going into the final boss character. There's two there.
Yeah.
You could then say it was Kevin Owens turned against him. When we got that feud. Then we got Cena turn against him. And now we've got Randy Orton turn against him. So basically, Cena, Orton, and KO, who he was basically close with. Seth, you could say, but Seth didn't actually turn heel against Cody. He just turned heel in the process. Then three, Cody, KO, Cena, and Randy, they've all turned heel on Cody, right? And Cody was good friends with Kevin Owens. He's seen Cena as a mentor, and he's basically best friends with Randy Orton, right? So the people closest to him have basically all turned heel. I'd say there's two people who are still, maybe three, but I don't really count Jay because he's part of the tag team. Two main eventers right now that I'd say are still Cody's friends, right? That's CM Punk and, as I mentioned, is Sami Zayn. There's a really, really good story you can tell right now for the next 5-6 months with Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes. They'll be doing it on TV. These backstage segments with Sami Zayn, I think have been really good, right? it's like they are actually building to something with Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn finally. I don't know when we're gonna get it, but Sami Zayn is gonna be like, "I told you so," something like that. I think they've got a real good story now. They can go with Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes, right? And then there's CM Punk. They had a segment in 2025 before Royal Rumble and 2024 before Royal Rumble. Both segments were amazing, especially the one in 2025, right? So CM Punk was like, "Listen, all your friends have stabbed you behind the back." Since that segment, Cena turned on him and Randy turned on him, right? So basically, he's got no one apart from CM Punk and Sami Zayn. When CM Punk and Cody Rhodes program does happen, I'd like to see the other way around. I'd like to see Cody Rhodes be that pissed off, be that fed up of everyone turning against him, that he pulls the trigger before he might be so paranoid that, oh, Punk might pull the trigger before me. I'm gonna have to pull the trigger before CM Punk actually turns heel on me. Because let's be honest, Cody Rhodes' closest friends in the company right now in kayfabe were Randy Orton, John Cena, right? And he was teaming with Kevin Owens against the Bloodline for the longest. Them three, four, right? Jay, again, he's in tag division, so he basically doesn't count. So I think with Randy and Cena turning against him, those were two guys Cody Rhodes had never expected to turn on him, right? They've turned on him. Now, before Punk can get there and turn heel, because Cody knows, right? Punk's turned heel before. It's not out of the possibility that this guy's going to turn on me. Let me do it before him. And I think over the next 12 months, we said this last year, and they just dropped all of it and never did anything with it. That was, partly because the booking sucked. I really want them to tell a story where Cody gets tired, he's paranoid, he's got no friends around him. They're gonna do something in the next 6 months with Sami Zayn, and then that CM Punk feud I think should happen next year, where he pulls the trigger on CM Punk before CM Punk pulls the trigger on him.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
Danny, like you
Cool.
said though, CM Punk and Cody. What is there a chance you think Cody can go to Raw? Or
he
is
will
there a
eventually go
chance?
to Raw, I think. Yeah, but again, I think
But
even if you move CM Punk over to SmackDown, it could happen there.
But can I just say, Danny, you made the point, right? When so many guys have turned, like Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, The Rock, John Cena, I've lost count, Randy Orton now. But don't you think this makes Cody look like an absolute buffoon, like an
Victim, bro. He's
idiot?
a victim.
He's like, I don't know about you, but I think Cody comes across as a real idiot,
Bro.
and it's hard to get behind him
This
because
Cody guy bleeds more than a woman,
shouldn't.
man.
No, but with Cody,
Cody.
I've seen the argument, right? People are saying this is boring. Every year it's the same thing. Someone close to him is going to turn heel, beat the crap out of him, and I can see the argument. I'm not gonna lie, I can see the criticisms, but it's a bit of like, I don't know what to say because it really depends on what happens at WrestleMania. If Cody wins and then Randy just says, "Oh, you know what, Cody, I wasn't myself. I let the voices get the better of me," some stupid shtick like that, I will be so pissed off.
The reason I think they done that with Cena is because he was retiring and he didn't have long
Yeah.
left, and Cena had to basically retire as a babyface. I cannot see them doing anything remotely similar with Randy Orton here. He's not retiring. It's not his last year, right? He's still got plenty of years in the gas tank. I can't see them just, running back SummerSlam as Randy Orton babyface against Cody Rhodes babyface. I can see why they did that with Cena 100%. Cena was never gonna retire as a heel. It was just never gonna happen, right? He was always gonna retire as a babyface. They had to pull that trigger there, and that's why all that Cena v Cody stuff happened. With Randy Orton, a guy who's a natural heel, he's not like Cena who's a natural babyface. He has no reason to say that. If he do say that, it'll be the dumbest shit we've ever heard. But he has no reason to say that. Cena had a reason to say that, right? Because that guy's been a babyface for 25 years, and he, had a stupid moment and he turned heel. With a guy like Randy Orton, who's naturally a heel, who's done some vile things in the past to people, he's not gonna apologize for that, is it? So again, I can see why you think that, because the company did that with John Cena, which kind of makes sense because you can't retire him as a heel. I don't see the case at all with Randy Orton. And on the other point, that yeah, it is tiring. He's basically everyone's standing heel on him. But don't you think Randy Orton is the last straw? Randy Orton's the closest friend he's got in the company.
Yeah,
I
100%.
get that.
I
But
agree with you.
what I'm saying, Danny, yeah, as much as these like big heel turns have been great to watch and blah, has it really done much for Cody's character? He's the same boring guy for the past 2 3 years. The Rock turning on him, Owens, Cena, and now Randy. Four big
But
things they've tried here to try and make Cody interesting, and it doesn't seem to be working. The crowd are not buying it. Can't get behind him. So for me, you could say that people are saying you can see it two ways, right? Some people see it as a compliment. Cody is that good of a babyface, he's getting these guys to turn heel. Or you can flip it and say, damn, the company is forcing it. They're trying everything and anything to get this guy over and believable as like the top guy, and the fans just don't care. So it's going to be another case. I've just got alarm bells in it from what we've seen already.
Um,
If this doesn't do anything for him, then I'm sorry, Cody Rhodes has failed.
I
I
Does
agree,
think
this
I
Top.
see it like you as well,
doesn't
bro.
this
I think the amount of people have turned heel against him, I think there's a possibility, there's a chance at WrestleMania where Cody could turn heel himself, maybe.
A double turn. I think that's too
Yeah,
early
that's
to do a double turn.
it. Could be
Too
too
early.
early, but you never know with Triple H, man.
see the thing is,
I also hope he pulls the trigger
before I
at
talk about
WrestleMania, man.
the possibility of a double turn, I think what I like about WWE so far is at least they've tried to do something on the weekly shows, a lot more than they have on the big pay-per-views. Because I think Cody being turned on during the chamber match was pretty cool. Like Randy took the opportunity and then got to face Cody. It's kind of led up, and I thought, you know what,
What happened? Where did everyone
that's
go?
pretty well done. Um, they've done a lot. They've done a lot of things on on the shows recently, um, which again is very promising for people who watch it. Week in week out, for the likes of Danny and occasionally myself and obviously Lenny, who I assume watches week in week out as well. But for me, if you kind of like put the shoe on the other foot, right? And I'm a big Roman Reigns fan, and people are very aware of this. Roman Reigns held the title for a very long time. I think nearly about 4 years, and he faced a lot of opponents who are faces. And is it because he's heel it makes it look better? Because Cody as a face is basically doing what Roman did, but kind of like him chasing the title or him defending the title, being at the main event of WrestleMania every single year. Do you guys see where I'm coming from though? Right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like a differentiating paradox, but the roles that each Roman and Cody are playing are completely different. We tolerate it more because it's Roman, because he's the final boss, not the final boss. He's the tribal chief. The Rock is the final boss, but Roman's kind of like he was like the last. He was the final frontier for every superstar in the company to try and take the Universal Championship, especially when there was only one title in the company. So it kind of leads to me thinking the shoe's on the other foot now. Is it better when a heel is at the top of the mountain and you have the underdog story chasing after every time? Is that what the people want, or is it that the people want another bootleg John Cena?
Do you know what it is, Danny? Not sorry, not Danny. Hazard. Do you know what it is? This is what I think the problem is with Cody Rhodes, because I think he's great on the mic. He's got the look. He's great in the ring, but he's not. You don't buy him as the top face of the company. Like with John Cena, you believe that guy was the heart and soul of WWE. That WWE was his passion. That it was his mission. He was the leader of the locker room. With Cody Rhodes, I'm sorry, I don't buy it. He comes out dressed. He dresses like a politician. He talks like a politician, and he is an absolute politician. He is a politician as well backstage. I don't buy you as the leader of the locker room, as this guy that's puts the company first. I don't buy it. I'm sorry, you're just not that guy.
I
And
think
I think it comes across. It comes across to the fans as well. They don't buy it. You're not believable. You're not John Cena. John Cena was out there coming out in shorts and trainers and stupid bright tops, and we believe him more than you. He just comes across. I think Cody Rhodes is so fake and disingenuous,
He's
which are
he's not
major
he's not
reasons why.
authentic, is he?
I
He's
think
not. He's
Scarface
not.
turned heel against Cody now as well.
Bro,
Some
I've
of the
always been heel.
capitalists.
I've slowly manipulated.
However,
Manipulated.
back to your point about the babyface and heel thing, right? I think it's much easier to play the heel and be on the top. It's much easier to play the heel and have those long reigns, right? A reason I think, and I don't think it's a Cody Rhodes problem, I think it's an overall company problem. You can't have a babyface be at the top of the mountain and hold the belt for as long as Cody did first time around, right? You can't do that. It never
How
works.
long was his reign? It
Let's
was a
go.
year, right?
Yeah, he lost to Cena. Let's go back to exactly like John Cena. Let's go back to John Cena about 10, 15 years ago when he was winning the belt. Cena's average reign was about 2 to 3 months, maybe even less than that, right? And there was a case of him winning the belt and maybe Orton beat him one time, Triple H beat him one time, etc., right? Edge beat him one time. He would never hold the belt for too long. So fans wouldn't really get that tired of him being the champion. The thing with Cody Rhodes is, and again, it's not a Cody Rhodes problem at all. It's a company problem. Triple H is so obsessed with these long reigns, right? That when you have a babyface hold the title for such a long time, fans are naturally going to get tired. It's never worked. You've never had a babyface have a reign that's been over a year and fans still being able to resonate with that character. It's just never happened. If you guys can give me one instant that's happened, fair enough. But I can't. With a heel, it's much more believable, right?
Yeah.
Because you've got this heel who's had these long reigns, then you've got this babyface who's trying to overcome him, and you know, that's how you get the babyface over. A great example is I've got two examples actually. I've got Cody Rhodes against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. I've got Kofi Kingston against Daniel Bryan. Both these are two baby faces that the fans loved at that time, right? And they wanted to see them beat the heel in
Even
Bryan and
Danny, even
Roman.
Gunther with his IC.
Sammy and Gunther,
When
yeah.
Sami Zayn beat him, exactly, he had a really long reign and he finally lost it. You can do that with the heel and it works, right? With a baby face, especially in the modern day era, you can't really. And this is one thing I really liked with AEW and their champions. They've not had a champion I think since 2023 or even 2022 that's held the belt in the world title scene for over a year. Like in the last year, they've had guys like MJF, Hangman, Swerve, Joe all win the belt. With WWE, it's that same guy, Cody Rhodes. I mean, you had a Drew McIntyre reign here, John Cena had a reign here, but it's mainly Cody Rhodes who's been in the title scene since 2023, right? It's basically been no one else, and that's the problem. And yes, you can get tired of Cody Rhodes because it's him, you know, getting pushed. I don't mind him being the champion. I just don't think he can have those long reigns that maybe Triple H wanted it to. It works well with a heel because that's a heel's job. A heel's gonna make you pissed off and have these long reigns. Gunther, Roman, two, which makes sense. But guys like Cody, and this was even Seth's first reign, fans wanted to see him lose against Balor, against even Shinsuke, which was stupid. But fans don't want these babyfaces to have these long reigns. It's never been a thing at all. When CM Punk was champion, he was champion as a heel, right, for them 436 days. He wasn't
No,
for
half of it. To be fair, half of it he was a babyface and he was smashing it out of the park. That's the one reign I can think of because he didn't even need to turn heel. Vince just asked him to turn heel as a favor.
I think he was babyface for about 9 months, 10 months, and then he turned
Yeah,
heel,
which is a
right?
bit, which he did, but
Which
he
is
didn't even
still
need to turn heel. He was still
yeah.
interesting as a face.
Yeah, and at that time, that is considered a really long reign, right? Like you never expect like that CM Punk's reign was something we'd see once in every 10, 20 years, right? And now we see that, you know, every year we see Cody Rhodes have a reign from like WrestleMania to SummerSlam, which is 6 months. Then you'll see him have a reign to SummerSlam, which he won it against Cena this year. He wasn't going to lose the belt to WrestleMania, and then they decided to pull the trigger with Drew McIntyre. The plan was him to lose it at WrestleMania, and if you do these changes WrestleMania, SummerSlam, it becomes too predictable, and that's my main issue. I think it's Triple H booking title reigns, which makes fans get tired of Cody. Him without the belt and him chasing the belt, I think is the best Cody Rhodes. I think it's
Literally,
by
I was
far
literally about
the
to
best
say.
Cody Rhodes I think a babyface in general is better when he's the chaser, right? I can give you lots of examples. Sami Zayn, Bryan, Kofi Kingston, Cody Rhodes, all these guys are much better as chasers.
It's because everybody loves the underdog, right? And then when they just eventually succeed, like he's no longer the underdog, right? And that's kind of his whole character. I'm the underdog, I'm the chaser, blah blah. But it's just so blatantly obvious that's not the case. He gets opportunities handed to him left, right, especially recently when he won the title of Drew. Why is he getting a match? You know what I mean? Cody
After
Rhodes.
losing Rumble and Chamber.
Exactly.
The
You
next
can't
week,
buy him. You
become a
can't buy
champion.
him as the he just his, you know what it is? His adversity, it feels so forced. Whereas
Manufactured.
John Cena, as you mentioned, Danny, John Cena used to have like short title in 3 months max, and it worked amazingly because fans bought it. They saw him going through adversity and overcoming the odds. Another thing I want to say about Cody, I do like him on the mic, but when he comes in these big programs against guys like Roman, against guys like The Rock, against guys like Owens, against guys like Cena and Randy, I always feel like, apart from maybe Owens, he's not the biggest star there, and that's a problem. If he's your face of the company, that's a problem. Because if you go back to John Cena, when he would be in in big programs with Edge, with Punk, with The Rock, and Batista, etc., etc., Cena never once fell out of place. He held his own, and he was almost as big of a star, or if not bigger than them. You believed him. Every word Cena said. He never got owned on the mic or got made to look like a bitch because he wasn't. He would retaliate with amazing points to Punk, to Edge, to The Rock. You know what I mean? With Cody, he just gets owned every single time. The Rock literally beat the crap out of him and beat him at Mania. And then, and then Cody's like, oh, yeah, we're friends again on that Netflix, which was stupid. Okay, that's booking 100%. And then it's just the same thing with Cena. Like, he loses to Cena, he gets beaten the crap out of, and he's like, this ain't the real you, John. But like, what? What is this? And then he hugs him after SummerSlam, all is forgiven. It just looks like a complete goof. And even in the Owens thing, Kevin Owens was in the right. Kevin Owens was in the right. That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense.
I think with Cody Rhodes, right, and like you said, copy. I think the only justified one I can think of is the Kevin Owens one. I think Kevin Owens was 100% in the right. Roman Reigns was feuding with Kevin Owens for 4 years, and Cody Rhodes beats Roman Reigns, and a few months later he's teaming with Cody Rhodes. And Kevin Owens, who absolutely hates Roman Reigns, is seeing this and he's pissed off, and then he turns on him. That's 100% justified. I get that. Kevin Owens should have definitely won the title in that period they were feuding, right? Maybe give him again, this will be a long reign. With guys like Cena, it makes sense for him to be like this in the real John Cena because for 25 years, Cena was a babyface. And I get Cody Rhodes trying to make him back into a babyface. A similar thing happened to Punk with Balor. He was like this in the real Balor, and it's worked because Balor is basically a babyface right now. My other problem is if you have these long reigns, right? Your other stars, like let's look on the SmackDown roster right now. You've got Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, Trick Williams, and Sami Zayn. If three of these guys have, let's say, a 2-3 month, it's not going to harm them anyway, is it? It'll make Cody
In
Rhodes
fact,
feel
it'll
better.
boost them for later.
It'll make Trick Williams feel better. It'll make Sami Zayn feel
Yeah.
better. It'll make them all feel much better. If you have one guy at the top and these other guys just chasing him, unless it's a heel like a Roman Reigns where it worked perfectly because you had Roman beat all these guys, then when Cody beat Roman, it actually felt like a big moment. Like that WrestleMania 40 main event night 2 is one of the biggest moments in wrestling, right? We can all agree with that. The way he toppled him after that, godly reign by Roman Reigns. They can't do that. They can't do the same with Cody Rhodes, and I think they are kind of forcing it, giving him these long reigns. And I think if Cody Rhodes beats Randy Orton, it'll be a catastrophe. Cody Rhodes cannot be
that'd be
Randy Orton
awful.
at WrestleMania. It'll be the worst decision they've ever made. I thought they did fumble the Kevin Owens one because I thought Kevin Owens should have won the belt. But Kevin Owens is that damn good that he made it work, even though he was a champion because he had that wing belt already, and he was using it as a fake belt. And then they had a match at Royal Rumble with both titles on the line. I thought that was a really good promo. Kevin Owens, again, not a problem for him. But if you turn Randy Orton heel and Randy Orton does lose against Cody Rhodes, it's
Oh,
a
mate.
big waste of time.
That'll be
I
horrible.
don't, I
Big
don't,
problem.
I don't think, I genuinely don't think that we see that happen though. I saw Lenny was about to make a point. I
Bro.
let him make it, but I just don't think it'll happen.
Triple H, you never know with him, bro.
You're
But
not,
I
you're
hope-
not, you're
I
not, you're
hope
not
he
Lenny,
goes the
bruv. You're
prison.
not Lenny.
No, I just think the biggest problem to do with this is booking. To be honest, I think
Yeah.
when Cody has the belt pre Cena feud, it was literally for months the only two heels on SmackDown were like Solo and Kevin Owens, and he had pretty much nothing to work with, and especially when you have such a long reign. And then who is he going to drop the belt to Solo? Like, no. Kevin Owens, yeah, I do agree. He very well could have dropped the belt to him, and he could have had a little few month reign. But it's just like I just feel like Danny said, it's just far too long. These reigns are just far too long. Like fans got bored of Cena in like the 2010s, mid 2010s. Like they get bored of baby faces when they're always around and at the top. I think so. I don't know what they're going to do to change that, but I think that's just natural for fans just to get a bit bored of everyone at the top, bar heels for the
Listen,
most part.
I do 100% agree that it's not entirely Cody's fault. It is booking as well. But what I'm saying is, I had such high hopes for Cody when he came back. Right, I thought his first year and a half or two was amazing, perfect, the perfect formula. And then The Rock comes in, and The Rock just transforms him into an absolute star. And you're thinking, okay, here we go, this is it. And then since then, it's just, I don't know, it's just been so stagnant. His character hasn't progressed
Exactly.
whatsoever.
I think a lot of people started turning on Cody after what was it, Bash in Berlin? You know, when he fought Kevin Owens the first time.
I think
I
him
think a
losing to
lot of
Kevin
people.
Owens there. I think him losing there was fine because the main issue was Kevin Owens wasn't willing to pull the
Yeah,
trigger because Kevin
yeah,
Owens
when
was
he
his
was injured. Yeah,
babyface.
yeah.
When he turned heel, I think Bad Blood after that, after the post show, he turned heel because he did it. It wasn't a comeback when Kevin Owens turned heel, was it?
No.
Saturday night main event was a show after I think where they did Kevin and Cody. He should have won the belt there. He should have won the belt there. And again, I'm not saying Cody Rhodes can't win the belt again. I think if you are the company top babyface, you have to always be around the main event scene. But there shouldn't be a issue where you have to hold the belt until WrestleMania, and WrestleMania is the only place you can really hold it, right? So
I
let's look
wouldn't
at
have
his first
minded
reign.
him dropping at Rumble.
Let's
You know,
look.
when they fought
Yeah,
at Rumble.
exactly. Let's look at WrestleMania 40, right? So he beat Roman there, and he went into a feud with AJ Styles. I think that feud was perfect. AJ Styles really didn't need to win the belt. That's fine. I've got no issue with that, right? That was a he. I mean, he turned heel in the process. AJ Styles. I thought feud was really good. They had two, I think, really good matches. One was in I think it was in Backlash, and the show after that in Scotland. They had two really good matches, and then I think he had a match with Logan at one of the Saudi shows. Then he went into a feud with the Bloodline, right? Let's look at all the other stars on SmackDown. You are really saying that the best thing he could do and the best heel he could face is the Bloodline? No chance. And again, if you put him in a program with another one of the SmackDown um, heels and give them a reign with the title for 1 or 2 months, first of all, that makes them feel like a bigger deal, and that also makes Cody not feel as stale as he did. Because by the time they had that Kevin Owens feud, people were like, "Yeah, Kevin Owens has to win the belt here." They didn't do that, and they waited until WrestleMania. And after he lost the belt at WrestleMania, he did nothing of note until SummerSlam, where he won the belt. He won the belt at SummerSlam, and since then, SmackDown scene was just Drew in the main event scene. They were like, "Yeah, let's put this guy in a feud with Drew." That Drew feud did absolutely nothing for Cody Rhodes, nothing at all, and they made Drew look like a even bigger douchebag. So it did nothing for either man. Where we all
Cena
saying Drew should have won the
Mm.
belt at WrestlePalooza, that would have made Drew feel like a huge star. And again, Cody Rhodes is always the better chaser. He doesn't have to always be in the title scene. He can, he could have feuded with the Jacob Fatu there or another heel on SmackDown. He doesn't always have to be in the main event scene. But again, it's the case of giving more people title reigns, builds more stars. It's the perfect thing they did in the Attitude Era. Austin, Rock, you had Triple H, Angle, Benoit, Jericho. All these guys got title reigns. JBL, Batista, all these guys got title reigns, and he made them all feel like stars. And in the current day and age, yes, the company still has a lot of stars. I mean, obviously, you can have the Romans, Punks, Seths, Codys, but these guys like your Trick Williams, your Sami Zayn's, Jacob Fatu's, Obafemi's, all these guys are ready to be champions in the next year. And the fact that the company are going to wait, a classic case is Braun Breaker. Me and corporate especially were saying they should pull the trigger with Braun Breaker, and they didn't
Yeah.
do it. And it feels like the company has these 2 or 3 guys right now. It's Punk and Cody. Yeah, like these 2 guys are gonna stay on the top for this long, and only if we find the perfect guy for them to face and lose against, that's the only reason we're gonna do it. That's one part of Triple H's booking I really dislike.
I guess, yeah. I mean, you made a very good point, Danny. Like, you need to give loads of people title reigns, and it just helps. It makes the overall product better, right? And Cody just definitely hasn't benefited from having these long reigns. It's just not good to watch, and fans are sick of it, and they already are. I mean, let's talk more then about this Cody rant. I don't know if Danny has any photos up of the graphic scenes that took place, but
He had a whole photo
I've,
shoot after as
like,
well. Did you see it?
Look at that!
Yeah.
Look at that
yeah,
second photo.
bro, look at
Everyone looking
Randy.
at him. Oh, crazy.
The aura is off the charts, bro. Randy is a master, bro. He's the master of this
Crazy.
game. He's a natural born superstar. But just seeing the way Randy shift, I really like the way it was done, right? So Randy was kind of implying that, oh, I'm conflicted, Cody, because I want to win number 15 badly at any cost. And if I'm going to do it, I need to go to them dark places that my voices are telling me. And Cody kind of like, he interrupts him and he's like, be careful what
Politics
you
with
wish for,
him.
mate. When Cody was saying, yeah, I want that Viper, and he's like, all right, mate, be careful what you wish for. And then as soon as he signs it, he just turns on him and beats the crap out of him. I thought it was executed so well. It was so amazing. You're like, oh shit. And this is the Randy Orton people have been sleeping on, because let's be real, Randy Orton hasn't been interesting since 2020, since that other heel run he had. It's about goddamn time. And I'm just hoping they do it right. Randy Orton has to win the title. This is my only concern, right? If Randy loses at Mania, it's going to make him look like a bit of a goof. And That's why maybe I hear it. Some people say maybe the turn should have been done at Mania after Cody beats him and then Randy loses it and turns. But again, we will see. And what are your guys' thoughts, Hazza and Lenny?
I like it that happened last night. I think it would have been cool if it happened at Mania, but I feel like the build up until Mania would have been too like goody goody, like, oh, you're my mentor. Oh, I guess you could have had a few moments where you're like, oh, Randy's running the turn, and then he kind of like pump fakes it. But I mean, we always talk about how Triple H is too safe and he's so predictable. And obviously, more so recently, we've seen a little few more shocks like Drew beating Cody on SmackDown and then last night. So I'm not going to complain at being surprised. So I do like the fact that he turned last night, to be honest.
Well, you say that, Lenny, but you have to be, because look what happened last year. I hate to go back to it, but last year, maybe it's just for the shock factor at the moment, and then afterwards they don't really have a long-term plan. I really hope that's not the case.
See,
But
yeah, neither. I
Rand,
do think it's different to the Cena. I can't lie. I do think it's a lot different to the Cena stuff because they kind of had
fair
to
enough.
turn Cena back face because his career was ending. Like he was retiring. Like you can't retire Cena as a heel. So I do think that was rushed and that was uh, done poorly. But I do think again, also like Danny said, that Randy is a natural heel. So I can't see them. I can't see Randy just like being heel for the next month and a half, and then after he wins the belt or if he loses the belt, he goes back to being normal. Like, I personally can't see that. If they do, then it's a huge fumble, and it would be truly bad. But I can't see them doing it.
I think I think what they've got is like I think what they might the case being is that I think they would have had this planned as maybe like a plan B or a plan C after Survivor Series when when Rhodes and Roman were staring down each other, because it feels as though the plans have taken a seismic shift since then. So Randy was off TV, obviously, as we know, for a while. He was off TV for a while, and I was just thinking, right, is he actually going to ever do something? And he won the Elimination Chamber, and he's going on to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Now, as Lenny rightly mentioned, there's two stark differences in that Cena's obviously a better face than he was a heel, and I don't think that was perfectly evidenced throughout last year. I think it was really bad booking, particularly with Cena's character. I don't know if he was driving everything or not. I don't think he was. But with Randy Orton, he's going to be on TV pretty much every week as well, and that I think is also that I think is a crucial. That's something crucial that we should all denote, considering how Randy has always been on TV, and that's important when we take into consideration how long this heel turn will last. Because Cena wrestled I think the most matches on live TV last year. Randy Orton Randy will probably go and do the same as champion, and whether or not he drops the belt at SummerSlam, keeps it, whatever. The most important thing is that there is clear consistency in future planning. Because of John Cena's dates, I think that Carpe is right. We shouldn't get ourselves too high in hope, but Randy is going to be there pretty much nearly every week, so we can sort of expect a lot of follow through in what he's doing. Maybe some reveals on who attacked Jacob Fatu, and that could be the backlash match to give Jacob his first sort of WWE title match. And then maybe Randy runs a little stable as well to mock Cody Rhodes too, like his own legacy, and he picks out NXT superstars and leads them as well. So there's plenty of different directions that this could go into. But I'm a big believer in the fact that Randy has got a lot more to work with than John Cena. Randy's a better heel. And I think that this is going to be good. I just want it to be done right.
I think the biggest difference between this Randy Orton heel turn and the John Cena heel turn is that Cena was quite limited, right? So the company knew at a point they had to turn John Cena back into babyface, and I think SummerSlam was the right time. So then he had 2-3 months to make a good babyface. He wasn't going to retire as a heel, right? With Randy Orton, like Hazard said, he's there every week. He doesn't really have to, he's not going to retire this year. He's probably not going to try next year. He's got a lot of time to be a heel, and obviously, I don't think he's going to be a heel until the end of his career. I think he will retire as a babyface. But him being on TV every week helps a lot to Cody Rhodes, because if you guys remember with the Cena and Cody Rhodes storyline, Cena was on TV. He was on TV for most weeks. Cody Rhodes wasn't on TV, right? He was written off TV, and he came back Saturday main event where he saved, must have been R-Truth or something like that. I can't remember correctly. And that's the only thing he did. And then he won King of the Ring, right? He beat Randy Orton in the main event of King of the Ring. And after that, they were building to Cena with Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes to the SummerSlam match did basically nothing but win King of the Ring to get his title shot. And even then, he didn't need to win King of the Ring. I think we were all saying at that time he could have got that title shot anyways, because I think he pinned him at Money in the Bank. Cody pinned Cena. He could have got that title shot without winning King of the Ring. The thing with Randy Orton is there's a lot more to explore. First of all, because Randy and Cody have much more history than Cody and Cena did. Much more history. Their history goes all the way back to 2006 or 2007, and all the legacy stuff. And after that, and he's going to be on TV a lot more than Cena was at that time. The company know they don't have to put a timeline in their head where they have to wait until SummerSlam and then do something with it. They've got a lot of time to play this. Randy's going to be healed for a really long time, so I don't think that's really a problem. But I do get the pessimistic version of Corby saying like, look how bad the Cena heel turn went. He really hopes the Randy Orton heel doesn't go that way, and I kind of agree. But again, Randy I think is a much better heel, so he will make it well.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, Isaac just said it as well in chat. Randy is a better heel, so he will make it work. I don't doubt that. I think more concerned with booking, right? Because I know WWE, especially on the TKO, guys like Punk and Orton are absolute legends, veterans of the game that they want to use to sell the most merchandise, blah blah blah. Which is why I think they've been reluctant to turn either heel up until now. So I really hope this is a long term plan for Randy. He needs to be heel for 2 years at least, but I'm more interested in. I know Randy's going to smash it out of the park. I'm not even worried about Randy's character work for this feud. I'm more interested in see what Cody's going to be like, because he can't be how he was in the Cena feud or the Rock Roman and blah blah blah. He can't be that guy saying, "Randy, this isn't you. You're my friend." You blah blah. No, Cody, you need to fucking take it you need to be put to a dark place. I think the whole storyline between them needs to be Randy pushes Cody to go darker and darker, where others like maybe a Sami Zayn could be like, "Yo, Cody, are you okay? Like, this is not you, blah blah." You need to make Cody go to that dark side, embrace the dark side a bit in this feud. If you're gonna go to war with the Viper, Randy Orton, the darkest there is, you need to play into that. I think that will make fans get behind his character a lot more as well. Don't have him, I'm not saying turn him heel, but have him go to that point to pass his breaking point. This Randy has had such a toll on him mentally. He's lost sense of who he is, but eventually he gets the win back. I mean, we can all tell Cody's going to win. I'm not going to lie. People are going to be pissed, but Cody is going to win that title back eventually. What I want to see, Randy beats Cody at Mania, right? And he doesn't just beat him. He puts him out on the
Decimates him.
shelf for a few months. He uses that punt. You got to sell that punt kick, right? You got to, I don't know, he gets brain damage or something. And Cody's written off. Cody's written off for a couple of months. And then I would like to see Randy Orton defending against guys like, I don't know, Jacob Fatu or Sami Zayn. I'd even have Randy Orton revealed as Jacob Fatu's attacker. That would add a whole new layer to his heel run, saying he was the mastermind behind all this, commotion between Drew, Jacob, and Cody. Yeah, he's been planning this. And then at SummerSlam, I think someone mentioned it. I'd have Obafemi in King of the Ring, and you do Randy Oba at SummerSlam, and that's when Cody returns, costs Randy for Obafemi to win, and then you can continue the Cody Randy feud maybe without the title.
See, I was pushing a heavy agenda last night on Twitter. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I think I said it on the last podcast. Yeah, I would have Kevin Owens return, right? So, I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
this ain't me fancy booking it, but you have something with Randy Orton and Sami Zayn where Randy Orton just completely destroys Sami Zayn. He punts him, he puts him out. Then you have Kevin Owens return, right? Trying to save his best friend. That instantly, I mean, I don't think Kevin Owens can be a heel when he comes back, right? You have him turn into a babyface. Then you run that Randy Orton with Kevin Owens match at SummerSlam. And 10 years from the first time we won his world title, which is mental. This guy has won a world title in 10 years. You have Kevin Owens beat Randy Orton to win the world title. And then maybe down the line, we can see Sami Zayn actually be the one to turn heel on Kevin Owens this time, and then Saudi Mania you could run Kevin Owens v Sami Zayn. Personally, I'd like to see Obafemi be the one on Raw. So if there's Roman Reigns at the time, Punk, Braun, whoever, I'd like to see Obafemi win that title. But I think there's a good story you can tell here with Cody, Randy, KO, and Sami Zayn. SmackDown's in a good place right now with the talent they've got, but again, it's all about booking, and I don't trust this company to book what I've just booked.
Yeah, I
I
agree with
agree.
you.
I actually agree.
Danny, I agree with you, but I had Kevin Owens coming back at Mania. It might be too
Maybe,
early,
yeah,
but
yeah. I mean, it did. I mean, this my booking did basically depend on when Kevin Owens is back, right? Like there have been reports that he's looking to come back sometime this year. I don't know if that's late this year or
it's
by
been a
SummerSlam.
year since we've seen him,
If
no?
yeah, in
So,
last March. So if he does decide to come back around SummerSlam time, maybe have him save Sami Zayn from a Randy Orton attack, and then that's the way you run that match at SummerSlam. If it's later on the year, fair enough. You can probably have him return at the Rumble, and then give him that title match at Mania. But I do think um, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, they were basically going into a feud. Having Kevin Owens get injured, then I think the perfect time to bring him back and have the roles reversed. Like, look, in that full year and a half, Randy Orton's turned into the dark side, gone back to be the Viper, and Kevin Owens is the one who's come back as a babyface. I think would be a really, really good dynamic. So for 2026, I'm going to be pushing this agenda for the whole year.
Yeah,
all
I
I
agree
want
with
to
you, Danny.
see
I
is
think
I want to see Randy Orton RKOing Brandy Rhodes or Mama Rhodes. That's it. I don't
that's
care what else
happening.
happens.
That's definitely happening. That's definitely happening. Randy will
He's not
RKO
gonna get a
Brandy.
boot. That's the funny thing. He's not gonna get
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
booted.
yeah,
the thing.
shame.
But what
Burns down the
Danny,
Torbos.
I think Kevin Owens of it depends on when he's back, right? But at SummerSlam, either Randy has to face someone brand new, right, and lose. And I mean, Jonathan's just said it here. We need different reigns. Don't want it to go back to Rhodes straight away. I agree. This is why I'd say Randy drops the title at SummerSlam to either Obafemi or a returning Kevin Owens, right? But he loses because Cody Rhodes comes back at SummerSlam after being written out for however long, and he
Yeah,
costs Randy, and you have Randy
yeah,
and
yeah,
Cody go on to do their thing without the title. I think that's the best scenario for
Yeah,
this whole thing.
100%.
But
Yeah.
I like that the most.
yeah, 100%. That's what I hope. That's what happens. And you know what? Another thing with Cody as well. I think another thing that I think his interviews recently have been really done more damage than good.
Heelish,
Like when
heelish. Yeah.
yeah, it
Like
doesn't
that
make
pod
sense
with
though because
Gunther
you're.
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It's like, bro, you're coming out doing podcasts saying, "Yeah, I am the top dog in the company." Blah blah. How are fans supposed to like you? I'm sorry, they're not gonna like you. You're coming across as an arrogant, cocky twat. And he had a promo with Sammy as well, right? Where he's basically said to Sammy, "Oh, stop making excuses. Um, you've had all the opportunities." When really and truly, it doesn't make sense because Cody's the one that gets everything handed to him on plate. So I don't know. It's probably booking, and it's a bit of him himself. Him going doing these podcasts, and it's not helping. I think. I think you need to
Kobe,
if you're going to be a
do you think
babyface.
do you think this is about purpose or he's just doing it because he feels like it?
You know what? I don't like it, Danny, because every single podcast this guy does, they always ask him the question, "Oh, when are you going to turn heel?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know. I would love to turn heel. It's definitely something we're talking about." Why are you telling us this? Why? Why? It ruins the whole.
Kayfabe's just
Like
dead, man. It's
by
just
the
fucked.
time it happens, people won't care, or it'll be like, "Oh, okay, he always said it's gonna happen." I just the way he acts, it's like a heel, right? But WWE wants to believe he's this big white meat babyface, which I personally, I think the need for a white meat babyface in 2026, we don't need it anymore. You can have baby faces, but have them have a bit of edge. Like look at CM Punk, for example. He's 47 years old. He is absolutely killing it. Not once have I heard any complaints saying this guy's boring, this guy's stale, even as a baby face. And I prefer heel Punk, but he's smashing it out of the park as a face. We need Cody to be interesting. And the whole white meat shtick, it just doesn't work in 2026, especially when he's doing these fucking heelish interviews saying, "Oh yeah, I'm the top guy, I'm the quarterback."
Yeah.
Another thing I don't like, he's sending shots at Roman Reigns. Like, bro, that feud made you, bro. That who you to talk shit to Roman Reigns? Roman
What
Reigns
did
has
he say?
proven. He made a little comment like, "Oh, this guy's in the company that
The
I
worst
forgot
thing
what the
about
com."
him actually sending shots for Roman Reigns as well. The thing that pisses me off the most is that like you probably could have had the third match and you probably could have won. Instead, you decided to duck it.
I
I don't
personally
get it.
think having two guys as big as Cody and Roman having this rivalry is good for business. I don't think you can sit there and be like, "Oh, these guys actually hate each other." I think there is some animosity between them both. They definitely don't like each other, but I think they both respect each other. They both respect what they've done for the business. So yeah, I don't think obviously like Austin and Rock were Austin and Rock the best of friends? I don't think they were they? They had that respect there, but they weren't the best of friends. Similar with
Nah, they're
Roman and
friends.
Cody.
They're friends, bro.
They're friends now, but at that time when they
But
were
I get
both
what
at
you're
the top
saying.
of the game, they both were like friendly, were they? And I think if they were friendly, Roman and Cody, I don't think it would have worked. But again, that a trilogy, I don't think is ever happening. I don't think that trilogy is happening anymore because again, Roman would want to take the pin. Cody would want to, actually get the victory. So I think we can stop thinking about the trilogy because that's just never happening.
No, I'm
anymore.
just saying the trilogy probably could have happened, but like you complaining about someone else, it makes no sense. I don't understand. Like you're coming onto podcasts, you shit talking other people. Okay, fair enough. It's good for business that you get to kind of like have these have these sort of arguments about your other co-workers. But when push comes to shove, he's not as good as Roman Reigns, and he knows it.
You know,
I don't
it
know.
gives off. It gives off. It gives off insecurity. It gives off insecurity, right? And
It's
you know
giving
what?
insecurity is basically what you're
Yeah,
saying.
Matt Gaming says he's better than Reigns. I high key disagree. I don't think so. But I do like Cody. I do feel like he does get a lot of hate. Maybe, but maybe sometimes it's unwarranted, right? But for me, in the Cody Roman thing, since hearing both sides of the argument, right? For me, Roman's in the right. Roman is in the right because since he's put over, I think originally at Mania 39, I think they wanted Cody to go over, right? And Roman said, "Nah, I need to hold it for another year." And he was right. It made Cody winning it eventually even better, right? At 40. And if you're Roman Reigns now, right? You put this guy over, you do the job for him. You give him you go part-time now, and Cody's given the reins to be the top dog. And he dropped the ball. Let's be honest, he's not done as he's been expected to. And if you're Roman, you're doing part-time, putting guys like Bronson Reed over, and then you're looking at the supposed number one guy now, Cody Rhodes, and fans are booing him. Fans are booing him, and you're thinking, why shouldn't I be the top dog? I'm better than him, and way better than him. So why shouldn't I be? So I get Reigns' point.
I also get
Because he needs to
Roman's
turn up to
point.
work.
Again, that's what I was gonna say, right? Cody's just put yourself in Cody's shoes, right? Cody's he's been the top dog of the company since Roman basically went part time, fully part time. Let's say it was Mania 40. He's there every week, and he's like, listen, I'm there every week. So who are you, Roman, to throw shots? I'm actually there, and you can't really blame Cody for bad creative. That's creative's fault. He's doing the best he can with creative. Roman's at home and taking shots at Cody Rhodes, or they're both taking shots at each other. I think Cody's in the right because Cody's actually there. He's actually turning up to work. And Roman, obviously, listen, Roman's back now and he's in the title scene and he will probably win the title. And he won't be there as much as Cody will. So I think it's kind of unfair comparing the both. Roman won't be there much. He's basically what Roman Reigns was 4 or 5 years ago, right? He was the guy who was there every week carrying the company. And again, Roman did that as a heel. It works much better as a heel because fans won't get tired of a heel winning the title because they know, fan that some babyface are going to take over. When you do this with babyface, we've seen it in the past. We've seen it with Cena. We've seen it with Roman 2015. Fans get tired really quickly.
Yeah, I hear it. I can see your point, but I don't know. I think Cody is in no position, to be honest, to talk shit to anyone. Especially, you know why? Roman Reigns fucking mugged you in that promo with Punk. He buried your whole thing with Drew. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Cody Drew was the plan for Mania, right? They had to abort and change and panic and pivot to Cody Randy. That's just from a promo, just a promo Roman cut. And you know what it is? Compared to both main events, right? Roman and Punk both feel on an equal level. Cody Randy, I am telling you, Randy's going to feel like the biggest star, 100%. It's just going to be the same thing again. Cody is the number two. He's second fiddle in the feud in the program.
I mean, I don't know if I agree because I think Cody is much. Would you say Roman is much? Would you say Punk is much closer to Roman than Cody is to Randy? What do you say is the other way around?
Yes, 100%. No, there is no way Cody is closer to Randy than Punk. Punk is close to Roman. Oh wait, no. What's the? I mean, Punk and Roman are probably at the same level, I'd say, of stardom, right? Cody Randy, for me, it's not even an argument. Randy's way bigger, way bigger.
I think some people will disagree with that. I'm not gonna lie. I think some people think
I
Cody Rhodes
think
is
what
the
it
second
is with
biggest.
Cody, he appeals more to the younger generation, whereas the other two appeal more to like the more hardcore fans. I could be wrong, but that's how I see it.
The thing is, though, Hedy, let's go back to 2010. The adults absolutely despised John Cena because he was getting shoved down their throats, right? But the kids loved him. And in 2026, I think all the kids love Cody Rhodes because they can resonate with him. But Cody Rhodes, I think it's really 50-50 within the adult, audience. So again, I think that's just a babyface thing. I'm not going to put the blame on
I
Cody Rhodes
agree.
on this. I think I
Do you,
just
do
think
you reckon? Do you reckon when we're growing up and let's say Cody Rhodes, has reached a kind of like Randy Orton, John Cena part of his career, and in the next 20 years, there's going to be a bunch of Asians just like us who are going to be like, we love Cody Rhodes and stuff like that. I think that's the stage we're going to get to at some point. I think
I
we've just got to,
disagree. I disagree. I'm
obviously, you
sorry.
reckon?
I think John Cena, basically, just to be honest, John Cena and Cody Rhodes are basically both playing that same role, right? The white meat babyface. I
Yeah.
think John Cena has done it 10 to 100 times better than Cody Rhodes has done it. 100%. I actually believe, as much as I, don't get me wrong, I would get like, I'd want the heels to win, but that was more of a just, being a young thing, being stupid, being a fan. John Cena is 100 times more believable as a guy who loves the company, who loves the roster. He's the locker room leader. I just don't buy it with Cody. Just look at him, man. He comes out in his three-piece suits. He speaks like a politician, bro. He goes on his podcast, says comments like this. I don't buy you. I don't believe you, bro. You're inauthentic. You're not genuine.
Copy, is that a thing you developed over the last year, or has that always been a thing with Cody Rhodes? Because I doubt it's always been a thing with Cody Rhodes.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, it hasn't been in the last year or so. I'll be real.
Yeah.
Prepare him to come back as Stardust.
See, that's the thing, Copy. Over the last year, it's been
Cody Rhodes.
just look at all the feuds he's had. He feuded with Cena at SummerSlam, Drew, which was an awful program. That's quite literally all he's done. And then obviously he's not helping himself when he comes out with these comments.
And then he talks with so much arrogance that I'm the quarterback, bro.
Bring back the paper bag.
Nah.
I mean, he would probably benefit if he could just, take 7 months off every year and then just have Cody Rhodes appears next week, comes to the show at the end of the show, gets a nice pop and goes home. I think fans would like him a lot more. And I think Roman benefits from that a hell of a lot.
He does benefit from it, but as a fan, I'm not a fan of that because Triple H has done that a lot with two particular guys, Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. He has them return a lot, and obviously they're going to get a big pop no matter what. They could return every 2 weeks and they get a big pop no matter what. I just think that's really a lazy way of going about it, and he did do it with Cody Rhodes. Saturday Night Main Event, because after Cena won the title, they went to the Randy with Cena feud, right? Cody wasn't seen for the next month and a half. Then he came back, which led into the Money in the Bank match and then King of the Ring. They did have him go off TV. I think that's really a lazy way. Another way would have been just get him in a feud with someone else. And then he can eventually get back to Cena. I think that would have done much more for him than to just go off TV, come back to Cena, win the title, and then feud with Drew for a good 6 months.
Again, this is what I don't get. I really enjoyed the Cody versus Jacob Fatu stuff, and then all of a sudden they dragged him back in with Drew McIntyre. You thought the plan would have been a triple threat, and then all of a sudden it isn't. Like,
it all comes back down to Triple H being a fucking bozo, man.
Okay, but let me rewrite it again. Look at Charlotte Flair, for example. She's been out of the title scene for about a year plus now. And to be honest, aside from Rhea Ripley, I would have loved to have seen Charlotte Flair go up against Jade Cargill because they both had that stare off. And because she's been away from the title scene for so long, you want her back in there. And being away from that has done her so much more good than harm. And you didn't think Charlotte Flair had it in her, but she does. And if Charlotte Flair, 14-time world champion, Nepo baby of the century, can do it, then why can't Cody Rhodes just team up with someone? I'm not saying Danhausen or anyone stupid like that. Well, Danhausen's not stupid. I'm gonna get cursed now, but like just someone who's like just someone that you can push on a little bit. Who's a bit underdeveloped? Yeah, someone who's a little bit underdeveloped on the restaurant roster, like Kit Wilson, as an example. And then he's just like, Thomas Hole put it really well. Main eventers should do more side quests. Charlotte Flair did it.
Do you know why they're not doing it with Cody?
John Cena, you know what it is? This is how you know that John Cena was one of the best in the business to do it, because he did stupid little he did side quests, right? He did the authority like side quest. He wasn't after the world title. He was doing a side quest. None of them had the world title, to my knowledge. You had the Nexus. That was in effect a side quest because none of the world champions were involved. That was a side quest. He was going up against different authorities. That were trying to shape the WWE. He was like, he was teaming with David Otunga. He was doing random shit that you just think, right, in that moment, it feels right. Cody Rhodes, every single week, it's like, I gotta win the title back. Like, I'm the greatest.
That's their problem with the company, though. Because like that's their problem. Because back then you could do that. Like now you can't. Because like let's say Cody does do side quests, and I think that's a great idea. Like all-star tags and stuff like that, little side quests. Like you said with Charlotte, right? Charlotte can go down to that level because they've got Io and Rhea and stuff at the top, and then they've got Bianca. I know she's hurt right now, but then Bianca and stuff like that. But if Cody drops down and does some side quest shit, who the hell babyface wise is running SmackDown? And that comes down to them not pushing guys like Trick
Fuck.
having a
Thank you, Wendy.
2 month reign, or Sammy. Because then if Cody comes down to a level and does some tag team stuff or does some lower end stuff, then you could have Sammy going for the belt, and that's where it all comes down to them not pushing stars at the right time. Another
Thank you,
example,
Wendy.
Bron
I'm
Breakker.
so glad. I'm so glad you brought that
Push
up.
Bron Breakker for the title, and he had a little run.
No, and
Then
you know what it is, and you know what it is, Lenny. I agree, and I think Danny's going to come up to the point where it falls into the entire booking scenario of right. If the other superstars were booked well, then Cody would have more leg wiggle room to do what we want him to do, and I certainly agree with that. But again, that kind of comes down. Does it either come down to the booking, or does it come down to the fact that the stars are not ready and they just want to rinse the Cody gravy boat as much as they can? Like it's very agenda driven from the bookers.
They definitely think like, oh, if we have to use Cody because Cody's our guy. Because yeah, Cody's your guy because you refuse to do anything other than Cody on SmackDown. Like you refuse. I mean, obviously I know Trick's been getting a push, and obviously he's just came. But like in the next year, Trick's still gonna be doing fucking IC title stuff, more than likely, or whatever he's doing. And it's like, just push these guys into the main event scene properly, and then when one of your top guys can drop and do some side quests, then they can step up and take the title for a month or two when other big guys are doing different things. But they just don't want to do that, and they have the same three guys fighting for the belt for the whole year, and it's just
The thing is with Triple H's booking, right? He basically revolves his entire main event scene around Cody Rhodes. And like Lenny said, let's say in the last year, Jacob Fatu was champion, Sami Zayn was champion, Drew McIntyre was champion. Let's say 2-3 more of these guys were champion, right? You could easily keep them in the main event because they would feel like stars who have actually won the belt before. They've actually won the title before. They are all world champions, right? You could bring down Cody Rhodes. Maybe he could do something in the US division, right? Or even the tag division. Like in 2023, when you had to basically fill the full year from WrestleMania 39 to WrestleMania 40. He was doing side quests. He won the tag titles with Jey Uso. I think no one complained of that because that was really good booking, right? They kept him doing different side quests, and then when he did win the Rumble, he went back into the Rumble program. Since Mania 40, though, coming up 2 years now, all he's done is being in the title scene, not even the main event scene, just the title scene. I like Hazard pointed out before, the Jacob Fatu stuff was really good. It was really good because that wasn't for the title because Drew was champion, right? It was something outside the main event scene for both of them vying to get back in the title scene. And they dropped all that. And now, obviously, listen, I'm not complaining of the Randy V coach, but I think it's really good. But we'll talk about it a lot over the last, the next 2-3 months because, they got the mini match coming up. When hopefully Randy does win. I really hope Cody doesn't stay in the title picture. Maybe just drop down a bit, maybe do side quests, maybe do other stuff, build yourself back up. And then obviously, listen, I don't think any of us are saying Cody Rhodes has to stay away from the title scene all the time. I don't think that's possible. But there's not a problem with giving him side quests here and there and then getting back in the title scene. Wins the title, let's say someone like Trick beats him, then he goes back down. Cena used to do this so well. He used to win the title, then drop it to someone, go down, come back up, win the title. Obviously, fans didn't like when he won the title, right? Because it was really predictable, and we always know he was going to win the title. But again, that's much better than having these long reigns because you keep all your stars within the title picture. And on Raw, you got CM Punk champion right now. I really hope in the next 6 months you do get guys like Bron Breakker, even Obafemi. I wouldn't mind Obafemi winning the title this soon. But that's the main problem, right? It comes down to Triple H not willing to pull the trigger. This comment says it perfect there. After that J push, Triple H is probably being like, yeah, let me not push no one. But you push Jey Uso. There's much better wrestlers that you could have put
but
in that
he's
position.
Triple H, I'm sorry, Triple H, you're a coward. You're a coward. Listen, Jey Uso's friend might fail, but you know what? I could applaud that and say, okay, you tried at least. Well, they gave up after Mania. It's like they just gave up. But Look at Vince McMahon. How many times did Vince McMahon put the belt on someone that didn't deserve it? Yeah, but you know what? Fair play to him. He tried. He did. Guys like Jinder. Remember Jinder Mahal held the fucking title for a bit.
If
Vince,
you guys
you
remember,
can't.
after he lost Austin Rock, he experimented with a lot of guys: Batista, JBL, John Cena, Randy Orton. He was willing to see who stuck, right, and who did stick. John Cena. He was like, okay, John Cena is the next guy to forward with Batista. They were like the big two, right? But during that time where it was basically a transition period for the company, they never had that big babyface after Austin and Rock both left. They were like, okay, let's experiment, and that's one thing Vince did really well. JBL he experimented with, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit. A lot of these guys he did experiment with, and that's something I think Triple H is too afraid to do.
Another thing is with this is why I say Cody can't lace John Cena's boots. I hope we all agree with that. But as you said, Danny, John Cena was believable, right? Because he faced adversity and he overcame it. There was periods where he went out of the main. Bro, look at 2012. Go back to 2012. He loses his big match, his dream match to The Rock, yeah. And they made him have the whole, depression arc, blah, blah, blah. And he was feuding with like guys like John Laurinaitis and the Big Show for a bit before he even went back to the title scene. Stuff like that is what Cody needs for his character, but they just don't want to do it. And you can and listen, you guys can sit here and say, oh, but it's because of booking, or it's because fans just want to boo the good guy. I hear it, but I do think that's a bit of a cop out because John Cena faced the same problems, yet John Cena done it 10 times better than Cody Rhodes is doing. I'm sorry. If you go back and watch John Cena in these feuds, yeah, with Punk and all these feuds that where the supposed heel got cheered, I look back and go, John Cena was fucking right. John Cena was right. Some of the promos he cut, it was amazing. I remember the one he cut in 2014 with Brock when he's like, that's passion. I'm like, wow, I was exhilarated. I was blown away. This guy, whether I don't like him or I hate him, blah, blah, I respect him. I do not have the same vibes with Cody Rhodes. When he comes out and cuts a promo, it's just like, this guy, he's a corporate. He's a corporate guy. He's corporate, handpicked. And John Cena was handpicked as well. Don't get me wrong, but it never felt forced. It never came across on the screen. You always believe John Cena as the underdog, and this is John Cena when he was Super Cena, but whatever it was, John Cena always had moments where he felt like the underdog. You can't say the same like Cody. Whenever Cody's in a match, you know he's gonna win.
I agree. I think Cena's much better as a babyface than probably every wrestler that's lived by like one or two. I'd say probably Austin, and that's probably Austin's actually the only one I can really think of. That's how good Cena was, and that was because his promos were like he's quite literally a top 5 promo I've ever seen in my life. He was really good, when he could promos, he made them programs actually feel something. With Cody Rhodes, the main problem is he's holding the title for 80% of the time. He lose the title, but he win it back. With John Cena, there was a lot of stars around him that won the belt, lost the belt. Edge, Orton, even Sheamus. Even Sheamus at that time got a reign. There were a lot of superstars that were getting reigns, right? And the thing was, with Cena, he could make it work because again, like I said, he's a much better promo than Cody Rhodes. I don't think Cody Rhodes is a better promo than John Cena. So again, it was easier for him to make it work. Oh, I think copies disappeared. Lenny, are you still here?
I'm still here.
Yep. So I mean, yeah, I really hope that Cody Rhodes doesn't beat Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Over the next few weeks, though, I'll be really interested to see what they do. Lenny, any thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much. Cody can't win that Mania, man. It defeats the whole point. He can win it back in the future, sure, but I do like the whole Randy holds it to SummerSlam, writes Cody off for a little while. He faces maybe King Oba or someone else. Cody comes back and costs Randy, and then they have either they have a 3-match feud and it ends in a Hell in a Cell, or they have 2 more matches and the third one's in a Hell in a Cell, and then yeah, pretty much. That's what I hope they do.
That's the thing, right? Like the first match, I mean, it can be for the title, but after that, it doesn't need the title at all. You can just have a blood
it comes
feud
like a bit of
without
a blood feud. Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. And then in that process, Randy Orton can put someone over like a Obafemi or give the title to Kevin Owens. They can do their stuff with the title.
Even Trick, I don't even hate Trick doing it.
Trick's ready, man.
Because Trick's had his moments. Trick's had his run-ins with Randy. Randy's RKO'd him like 3 times. So even Trick,
I haven't seen someone come up from NXT as good as Trick and make it work. Like the complete package. His promos,
so
everything
smooth,
about is unbelievable. Like you couldn't believe this guy was in NXT just 2-3 months ago. Like that's how good
And the
Trick
thing
Williams
is,
and Triple H
right,
should have been.
people had question marks over Trick, like towards the end. Like it was like everyone knew Oba was going to be the guy. Like they knew he's going to be the next star. And then they had Javon, who I think people were a little bit surprised that he got called up a little bit early because I think a lot of people thought he
Me
would end
too.
up winning the belt in NXT, the main belt in NXT, and then he would get called up. But Trick was like, oh, he's got the charisma and like he's semi decent in ring. Like he's almost like maybe like an LA Knight where he's not amazing, but he's not nowhere near bad. Like he just does a job. He's solid. And then like the transition from NXT to main roster has been flawed. And to be fair, I do have to give credit to Triple H and them not to actually make it so smooth because he's fitting like a glove really. Like it's been so smooth. And in the next year, I mean, he should be, I wouldn't say champion, but he should definitely be in the running for it.
Like realistically, Trick Williams and Obafemi should be champions in the next year or two, right? And knowing the company is going to take him maybe 3, maybe 4 years, and that's my main problem, man. This title reign, not
That's
getting enough superstars involved in the main event scene. There's so many guys right now in the main event scene. Like you could be champion, and we could all believe you're champion. Jacob Fatu is a prime example. You could put the belt on Jacob tomorrow and be like, yeah, this guy's a viable champion, and he'd be a great champion. But again, that's my main problem. The title scene has to always revolve around Cody Rhodes. Yes, he's a top baby face. Yes, you have to have him always there, but you should give other stars like a chance to maybe like a Trick Williams and Jacob Fatu on the SmackDown scene, especially should be champions in the next year. But I don't see it.
Do you know what it is? I think WWE, right? For me, with Cody Rhodes, I'd you see the fans' reception of him, blah blah blah. It's either do we stick with it and just carry on, or do we actually take note of what the people are saying and we make his character more interesting and we do turn him heel? Because for me, the way Cody is, I think he's more of a natural heel. He's actually a very good heel as well. I think he can cook. And I think the way the storyline, his whole run has gone since he's come back, it makes so much sense for him to eventually turn heel. I think this Randy feud needs to be that
100%.
final straw, right? That bit of
Yeah,
sanity
definitely.
that he had gone. So this needs to be a long, as you said, perfect formula. You have Randy punt him, yeah, at Mania to win the title, and Cody's written off for a while. Randy has a good few months as a despicable, evil heel, right? Him and Jacob Fatu, him and Sammy. And at SummerSlam, you either have Obafemi, Trick Williams, or even Kevin Owens if he's back by then. He defends it against them at some time. Cody makes his return there to cost Randy the title, and then they go and do their thing without the title because it doesn't need it. As Danny said, they don't need the title at that point. That's how you make people get behind Cody, right? And in this feud with Randy, Cody can't be the generic, oh, Randy, this isn't you, blah, blah, you are my friend, blah, blah, I'll never give in, blah, blah. He needs to go to the dark side a bit. He needs to be pushed to the limit. Randy needs to push him to the limit, yeah, take him to that dark place that Cody has been shutting down, he's been ignoring. That's where he needs to go in this feud. I'm sorry, that's the only way you make him interesting. And then once Cody, obviously Cody's going to win the feud, we all know that. But by the time Mania comes around for next year, Mania 43, it will be very interesting to see, are they going to keep Cody as a babyface or will they run, as Danny said, I think the Punk Cody thing is a great idea with Cody turning heel. And it would make perfect sense for Cody to turn heel because, yeah, he has every reason to turn heel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of two things. Either you plant the seeds now. This is a long-term storytelling to eventually to Cody. Like Anakin, he's the chosen one, blah blah blah. But eventually he succumbs and turns to the dark side. Or you go the other direction, you keep him as a babyface, but you just make his character 10 times more interesting and he actually goes through adversity. He's not the champion all the time. And he gets humbled a little bit.
Randy should be the last straw. I don't think you can have anyone else turn against Cody Rhodes. Him over the year, his character development is really key. He has to go into that darker edge over time. By next Mania, you can have him be the heel. And like Obi said, he seems like a really natural heel. Like I watched some of his stuff when he went to the Indies in Ring of Honor and stuff. He was a really good heel, man. Like he's a much better heel than he is a babyface. And don't get me wrong, he's a great babyface. I think he's one of the best babyfaces they've got right now. But again, next year, I think he has to be the heel in the program against CM Punk. It would be really lazy if you have CM Punk turn on Cody Rhodes because then it'd be like, yeah, you're doing it for the sake of it. After the promo where Punk was like, I'm gonna stab you in the front, don't go with that. Cody Rhodes should be more smart. Would be like, yeah, I'm really paranoid right now. I've had so many people turn against me. Punk, I'm gonna get there before you get there. So I think that's a really good way to go about it, but no clue what they're gonna do.
Yeah, 100%. Cody, I think the most obvious direction should be Cody turning heel, but then again, we don't know because you know it is in 2026. I think the need for a pure babyface is just not needed anymore. It is not. It is not. It's old fashioned now. You don't need. I get in the past. I get it with Hogan, with Austin, with Cena. I get it. With Roman Reigns, even that. You know, but eventually, we all know fans get sick of it. You need to keep things fresh. That's why the traditional white meat babyface it just doesn't work anymore. I'm sorry. I look at
I would
Punk. He's a babyface, but he's not a white meat babyface, is he? He goes to that dark side.
I was gonna say I would
Yeah.
rather have a lot of characters with a lot of different character motivations than to just distinguish them as a heel or a babyface, right? It's much better and much compelling TV when they do the promos with each other, when they actually have character motivations. That's why the Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens program last year worked so well for me because I mean, I wouldn't say Kevin Owens was a heel, even though they did say he was a heel. I thought his motivations were justified because Cody had teamed with Roman, and that really pissed Kevin off. I thought he was justified. Even Drew McIntyre early last year, his motivations were justified. Seth, I think his motivations were justified. A lot of these characters last year, especially, I felt like their motivations for turning heel or doing this was justified. And like Kobe said, I don't think there's really a need to always have that top meat babyface. Just
Mhm.
give me a lot of characters with a lot of different character motivations, and the TV will be there. You'll book amazing TV because you've got a lot of these different characters. If you just have this one white me babyface who's always at the top, it gets kind of boring.
Also, the
100%.
fans will decide who to boo and who to cheer anyway. Like, so you don't have to be like, well, this guy's a heel and this guy's a babyface, so this is how you should treat them. Just
Yeah,
have guys, like you said, that have their reasons to win the title, become champion, or just fuck someone over, and the fans will react to it. The fans choose, like, the fans were cheering for Randy anyway. So it's like nowadays everyone, especially with the way I wouldn't say though he's mainstream now, but you get what I'm saying. It's like huge, right? The
yeah.
fans,
Yeah.
like all the superstars are just too big. Like whatever someone does, for the most part, they're gonna cheer anyway. So just have guys have good reasons why they do it, and then the fans will decide what they want to cheer and boo anyway. So yeah.
I think it's not just a WWE thing, it's a society thing as well. People are not fans anymore for just a straight up good guy or a straight up bad guy. We want something in the middle, something morally grey, someone that's grey, that's got that's complicated, that's complex. I think now, especially with in 2026, kayfabe is dead. Kayfabe is dead. WWE
Oh,
themselves
it's dead and buried.
they knock it over your head. Kayfabe is dead. I mean, WWE Unreal, for example, and they have these podcasts. Like Cody Rhodes goes and does a podcast with Kevin Owens and Gunter, and so why? And then when you come to WWE, like, oh yeah, these guys are heels and these guys are faces. We all know it's fake. So why not? If you're gonna bring into Kayfabe, blah, I'm not saying this is my ball, but I think the need for heels and faces is slowly dying because people know it's fake, right? It's not. It's scripted. You need so that's what I'm saying. As you guys have mentioned, do it based on character motivations. You don't need to do the traditional good guy versus bad guy. Have stories be flexible. Have characters be flexible. That's the progression that they do. Well, they've kind of forced it upon themselves.
Like Lenny said, right? When you give these characters a lot of different motivations, the crowd will dictate who they cheer and who they boo. And with this segment, it worked perfectly well. I know people will say, oh, they were on the side of Randy Orton and he's a heel and they should be on the side of him. Randy Orton got really pissed off at Cody Rhodes because, first of all, Cody cut him off and Cody was getting too friendly with him. And let's be honest, Randy Orton, WrestleMania, he wants that title. He doesn't care who he has to point to, he has to argue. He was just so pissed off that, listen, I was going to go to this dark side no matter who it was. He wanted it to be Drew. He was, I wish this was Drew, but you put me in this position, and then he done it. Perfect way, perfect motivation to turn heel. And I do really hope next week he does address that, this was meant to be Drew, you were meant to be here, and then Cody Rhodes slowly, pissed him off during that promo where he cut him off. I was like, I will always love you, blah blah blah. And Randy Orton was like, nah, I'm having none of it. I'm gonna punt your ass off. So, uh, me as a fan right now, I'm much more compelled by a lot of different characters than this guy being a babyface or this guy being a heel, personally.
I agree, and I think the next move now for Randy, yeah, when he comes out next week, you need to cut a pro. Yes, he's a heel, but his promo needs to be justified, right? You have Randy come out, yeah, and the whole thing for the past 3 years or whatever. It's been we as the fans have been saying this. We're frustrated with the way they treat Randy, blah blah. use that. He needs to use that in the storyline. Like, I've been doing what they've been telling me to do. I've been an ambassador. I've been the company man. I've been working with the younger guys. But it's like I've been doing what the company wants for the last 3 years, whatever. What about what I want? I want the title. I want my respect. I'm a third generation superstar. Everyone says I am the most naturally gifted star of all time. It's about time people treat me like it. And then you have Cody. You go into the Cody thing. Cody, I gave you mercy when I beat you at the chamber. I thought I was gonna get Drew, but no, you had to weasel your way into a match with Drew. You brought this upon yourself. Something like that. You need to like have
Yeah.
him be a heel, but make his motivations justified. Like, oh, I get why he would turn heel. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. And I think like Hobby said, next week when they do run that promo, I think Randy Orton could be like, listen, I don't think he can reveal himself as the Jacob attacker, but if they do, they'll be like, listen, I attacked Jacob, but I'd make it seem like it was you. So you would go on to do stuff with Jacob, and I could have a clear shot to the title. I would be Drew for the title, but you had to get like Hobby said, just weasel yourself into a title shot at the Rumble first, and then Chamber, and now I've had to do this to you because you forced me to do this to you. I think that's quite literally the perfect way to go about it. But again, I don't trust the company. We wanted Cena to go down a whole different route, and the company didn't do it. So, to be honest, I'm no clue what the company are gonna go with the promo. But
I,
I
I think
really
what
hope.
we're saying with the
Yeah,
I think what we're saying is perfect because the whole thing is you need to buy into real life what the real life fans are saying and the frustrations. You need to pay into that. Like, just have Randy say shit like, they make me trade speed. You know who I am. I'm Randall Keith Orton. Stuff like that. Just be absolutely riveting. And fans will be like, you know what? He's got a point, bro. Talk your shit, Randy. Talk your shit. And yeah, just have him voice his frustrations and turn it onto Cody. I don't know if he'll do the Jacob reveal. I don't know if they do that too soon. Maybe they'll
yeah.
wait a bit. But yeah, Randy be like, Cody, you're out here talking to me like I'm some has-been. I'm some uncle. Like, oh, you watched me at Mania. Remember, I brought you into this game. You were my protege, blah, blah. Stuff like that. Master versus apprentice. It should, if WWE fumble this, yeah, then there is absolutely zero hope for this company because this is it's such an easy home run, isn't it? It's like there's no way you can fumble this. You have everything there
It's a
to make
layup.
it work.
100%.
It's a
Yeah.
layup, man.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything we wanted to talk about. Any final thoughts, lads?
I mean, I've got no hope in the company making this work, but they've got this program. This overall feud has potential to be better than the Roman v Punk feud, just because it's probably going to go past Mania. But the first few weeks are really vital. If they fumble the first few weeks, fans will start to lose interest real quick. They did that with Cody v Cena because after a few weeks it became real stale, right? But they've got to nail these first few weeks.
I do have one little problem that I just wanted to bring up quickly.
Yeah,
I'm so tired of like coming into Mania season, yeah, that for the most part, the women's stories have to be toned down because, like, for example, like this Jade and Rhea feud could be so good, but they've clearly watered it down and said, "Oh, do not use the stuff online," because they don't want it to be they don't want it to be big, but they don't want it to be almost like I
Overshadow.
don't know how to explain it. Yeah, overshadow anything
yeah,
else, and
yeah.
it's like I get that, right? Obviously, the men's stars are the biggest. Like they're what attract the fans. They're gonna be the main events. That's not my problem. But it's like you could have made this feud so fucking good because I don't care about a Jaden Rhea match. The match is gonna be mid. Like it's gonna be so mid. So at least make the build good. And obviously the stuff on Twitter, it's whatever, cool. Now use that to make the build good. And they haven't used it, and it's so bad. Like it's your biggest women's star along with Jade, who's also a big star. And that's kind of the only reason you're having this match is because they're two stars. And I get it, but yeah, the feud just stinks. It's so
Then
shit, man.
I actually think you have a point because if you remember Mania 40, Bailey v Io, that storyline looked like he had a lot of potential and they did tone that down a lot because, so the men's story between Roman and Cody, which was always going to, main event, actually had the better ending. But yeah, I think you got a point, but I think it is by design to tone these down so they don't overshadow the two main events.
Honestly speaking, listen, women's wrestling, yeah, I'm not the biggest advocate for it, but I will say with my chest, in the last few years, especially at Mania, they've stolen the show from the men, and I do feel like they are being hard done by. They are like, the W all about. They use the women's revolution when it's convenient for them, when they want to
It
promote.
suits them.
Yeah. Yeah, and then when it comes to the thing, don't get me wrong. There's no chance any of the women's matches are going to main event over, especially these two matches,
Oh
right?
yeah, I
But
don't mean
WWE,
that. I don't mean that.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, but I get what you're saying. Like WWE nowadays, it's that only the main event scene can be good. Only that's all we care about. We don't care about anything else on the show, and like, you can see it. You can see it. I don't care about the mid card scene, and I don't care about anybody on there. I don't care about any other stuff apart from the main event, and that's by design. That's the way WWE wants it to be for some reason, which is weird. And as you said, Lenny, right? AX says, "What would you guys do with the men's?" Yeah, it will be a good match, but where's the story? That's what I'm saying. The mid card is non-existent. The storylines are before Dom and Finn for the IT title, that had a story, but nope. We're just gonna get multi-man matches for the mid card titles at Mania every year. I've just accepted it at this point.
I think the
But
RC title will be a ladder match, and I think the US title. I mean, they'll be building this on TV a lot. It'll probably be just Melo against Ilya Dragunov in a singles match, which
I
I
wanted
wouldn't
a triple
mind.
threat with Melo included, but yeah, I think it is should be a singles match between Melo and Ilya, which I mean,
I
it's
think
gonna be a
Trick and
match,
Sammy might get added to that in like a fatal four way, or Trick and
but
Sammy
so
do their
good,
own
man.
thing.
Singles match, yeah.
Yeah, but going back to Lenny's point though about the whole Twitter spat thing, blah blah. I think WWE is probably one of the only professions out there in the world where you can use real life beefs and stuff, unprofessional things, and turn it into storyline and make it work and make it a professional thing, and make it good TV. But WWE is so weird. Usually they do it, but for some reason they're like, nah, we're not going to do it, and I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just weird, isn't it? Because WWE has always been the thing to use real life scenarios to add to storylines, but for some reason they don't want to do it anymore.
If
But
it wasn't Mania season, right, and this was like building to SummerSlam, they would have 100% lent
yeah,
into it.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it was.
Well,
That's
again,
what I
it's
think it
it's
is.
lame for me. If you're a booker in WWE, blah blah, my job, yeah, is to make everything interesting. The whole thing needs to be good. But now they're so complacent that just the main event. It's a TKO thing as well. Just the main event, yeah, blah blah. As long as
I'm,
that delivers.
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Kobe, because the two main events feel like a much bigger deal than anything in the company right now.
Which I get it, yeah, they are the main events they're supposed to be, but that doesn't mean you completely neglect everything else. That's what they do. That's what they do now. And Lenny, you know what? I think I genuinely, you know how the women do. They have evolution every year. I actually would give the women their own PLE a bit more regularly. They are
I
good.
well, they basically Triple H got asked this, and like it was the classic. He wasn't thinking of doing it. Like no way. He was thinking of doing it
Yeah.
probably like every 5 years or whatever. And then the reaction to how good the PLE was, and I think in the post conference, someone was like, "Oh, is this going to be an every year thing?" And he was like, it could be, and then he spatted his bullshit about, oh yeah, how the women have been so good, and they this is what they deserve, and it's just like, yeah, man, we've really seen you, put a lot of care into it since then, but it should be, I can't lie, it should be. There's so many
Bro,
good feuds you could
this is
have
what
and
I mean.
matches.
This is what I mean about the women's revolution. It's the most forced corporate thing I've ever seen. I mean, they have Stephanie McMahon, for fuck's sake, being the champion of it. Like, oh, give me a break. Stephanie McMahon is the champion of the women's revolution. Honestly, if I'm going to be, I think WWE, they could afford to do this. Give the women their own weekly show, a 1 hour show. I reckon they'd cook. They have enough titles for it. They have the tag titles, they have the mid card titles, they have the main titles, and you give them PLEs every now and then. 100% they would cook.
Oh, 100%.
But
The women PLE, the Evolution was fucking special, man.
Evolution was like
It
the
was so
second or
good.
third best show of the year, wasn't it?
It was that and Chamber was like the best two of the year.
Yeah,
The one
agreed.
obviously with Cena
and you
and
know
stuff.
what's funny? You know what's funny? They could easily do a women's only weekly show, even if it's just an hour. Like, I mean, they still have main event. Like, bro, who watches main event?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But anyways, that's a rarity for me being a champion for women's wrestling. I think I'm starting to change
You
in
man,
2026.
I've sent you, man. I've told you
But nah, I
the
think
voice of
that's
women's
pretty.
wrestling.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much everything we wanted to cover. Just want to thank everyone who's been watching from start to now, even if you just dipped in and out. Those who've interacted with us, we really appreciate it. Keep on liking and supporting the channel. We're on the road to 500 subs. But yeah, man, that's been Kayfabe Out, your weekly WWE show. We'll see you guys for the next one.